Latino voters are expected to be crucial in this election, especially in the battleground states that could decide the election. According to the Pew Research Center, Latinos are projected to account for almost 15% of all eligible voters this year. It's a new high. This comes as we have an MSNBC exclusive. We have fresh insight from a new poll by the Hispanic Federation and the Latino Victory Foundation of Latino voters in 8 battleground states. We should note the research firm that conducted this poll has ties to Democrats and President Biden. With us now to talk more about this is Frankie Miranda, President and CEO of the Hispanic Federation. Mi amigo, it's always a pleasure to see you, Frankie. Thanks for being with us. How has your poll shown the state of race changing from July to October?
Well, what we have seen is that enthusiasm continues to rise and that Latinos are committed to participate in this election. More than 71% of Latino voters in battleground states are committed to come out and vote. And this is something really important because some of the headlines have shown that probably Latinos were not that enthusiastic anymore after the big enthusiasm shown after the DNC. But our poll, that is a large and more comprehensive poll on Latinos before the election, tells us a different story. Latinos are motivated and Latinos will come out and vote in large numbers.
And so, Frankie, talk about motivation. This poll finds that the top issues for Latino voters are, first, the cost of living, inflation, jobs, the economy, housing costs, affordability. Abortion, reproductive rights came in 4th. Issues with the U.S.-Mexico border came in 6th. Citizenship for immigrants already here came in 8th. Frankie, what does this tell us?
What it's telling us is that Latinos were incredibly important during the pandemic and to make sure that many of us stayed safe and healthy at home. But they had been also the ones that had been slower in the recovery after the pandemic. So for Latinos, pocketbook issues are extremely important, and we have somehow been pigeonholed in certain topics that, as our poll reveals, are not necessarily the top issues. Also, what I feel that is important to note is that by doing this poll with the Hispanic Federation and Latino Victory Foundation, we are also doing a culturally competent, linguistically competent approach to the questioning of our community, making sure that if we ask the right questions and we decouple many of these issues that in other polls all are bundled together, we get very different responses. And we're very excited that it will continue to grow the excitement. And that's why now we are here in Pennsylvania, making sure to send a message to Latino community here in Pennsylvania, especially the Puerto Rican community. Everybody's asking how Puerto Ricans will vote in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and it's so important that people participate if they have the privilege of being able to participate in this democratic experiment. You know, Frankie, immigration is such an issue, political hot-button issue, but the Associated Press reports that 10 times as many migrants died in New Mexico near the U.S.-Mexico border in each of the last 2 years compared with just 5 years ago. Meanwhile, Telemundo reporting that the Tren de Aragua gang is disputing the trafficking of migrants with other cartels in Mexico, according to the Secretary of Security in Chihuahua, Mexico. My question is, Frankie, where is the focus on the men, women, and children who make the most difficult, harrowing, dangerous decisions and face the most difficult conditions? Where is the focus on that?
Well, that's why in our poll, it demonstrates that Latinos really care about a humane and equitable solution to the broken immigration system. And they feel that many of these progressive ideas are still in the heart of Latinos when you ask them about the border and you ask about immigration and also what are the opportunities for people that are already here? So that is so important right now to continue talking to our community about issues that are of importance of them. When you talk about discrimination, when you talk about what is fair or not, Latinos are on the side of making sure that there is real solutions to these very complex issues.